This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today this afternoon being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria. From Joe and the staff, they want to wish you a buon Natale, a buon anno. Of course, Paisan Talk, that's Happy Christmas and Happy New Year. From Joe and the staff, hey, don't forget they're open 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, and of course Sundays are open from noon until 8 for the best pie around. Food Network folks think it's so good, they rank it in the top 10. That's how delicious it is. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. They are right across the street, open Monday through Friday. Tim and the staff invite you to come on by. And, oh, by the way, their CD rates still, you're going to find some good numbers with those CD rates going on right now at First Tier Bank. Lennox Auto Body over in Dunn Avenue and the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard, both part of Lennox Enterprises, serving our community needs for over the last quarter century. Founded by Dick Lennox, tradition carried on by his daughter, Heather. Thank you so much, Heather. You do a great job. We want to thank B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue, where they service what they sell. That's right. They got a great repair service over at B&B. But I'll tell you what, sometimes they get very lonely because they sell great products like GE, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, Maytag. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, they've got top-of-the-line products that will go into your house and always work perfectly. So, again, B&B Appliance and TV, see them today. Put a bow around your new washer-dryer for Christmas. And again, see our friends first at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Medicare Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Open Monday through Saturday. Come inside. Use the convenient drive-thru outside. Gina's great staff, again, will work with you and your doctor's prescription. Medicare Pharmacy, same location as always. Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Del Range serving up 3 delicious squares right across from Powers Field and Menards. Breakfast is absolutely delicious. Lunch, yeah. Dinner, well, you know what? Add that mac and cheese to your dinner menu, and I'm telling you what, win always at Chick-fil-A. Use the 2 convenient drive-thrus, or again, they would love for you to come on in and dine inside. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Del Range. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Banking done the old-fashioned way, done the high-technology way, done everything in between what you've come to expect from Platte Valley Bank over on Vanda High and on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Kia of Cheyenne over in Nation Way. AJ's got a great-looking lot of Kias right now, whether it's Sereno, whether it's Soul, whether it's Sportage, or maybe you want to try a test drive in the new 2020 Telluride. Yeah, Kia's SUV. Man, I'll tell you what, it delivers. All of their automobiles deliver over at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. And we want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne, where, hey, they've done it and they've come up with it. The Perfecto Taco. Well, yeah, get a few of those for home tonight. The Perfecto Taco available today at Taco John's of Cheyenne, South Greeley Highway, downtown on KRAE Avenue, north side on Yellowstone, right down the road from us, Del Range and Ridge, and even on, well, close by, Persian Ridge. You can find all your Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway at Scoreboard Time. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We'll go first to Nick.
LCCC men's and women's basketball in action last night, as you heard here on 1480 KRAE, as we were down in La Junta, Colorado, taking on Otero Junior College. Starting with the men's contest that got underway, at least first up, as they took on the number 4 ranked undefeated, at least Rattlers team, where they lost that contest 109-77. So with that, LCCC, at least on the men's side of things, will fall to 2-9 overall. They will have games coming up this Friday and Saturday. We'll focus on Friday, as they will be taking on and hosting Lamar, the community college, the Lopes, part of that Golden Eagle Holiday Classic. That will be a start time of 7:30 tentative, at least this Friday. Again, there's 4 or at least 3 other games ahead of that on Friday. LCCC women's action from last night, as they also took on the Lady Rattlers down there in La Junta. LCCC falls in that contest 85-70. So with the loss, LCCC on the Lady Golden Eagles side, they dropped to 8-4 overall. On Friday, they will host at least number 9 nationally ranked Western Nebraska, the Lady Cougars, a part of the LCCC Classic. That is set for a 5 o'clock tip-off time, so about 5:10-ish pregame show here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, and 1480KRAE.com. NHL action for tonight, 3 games on the slate. Washington Capitals at home at the Capital One Arena. They will host the Boston Bruins. That will be at 5 o'clock tonight. You can watch it on NBC Sports Network. Montreal Canadiens at home. They will host the Ottawa Senators. And last but not least, the Colorado Avalanche down there at the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. They will play host to the Philadelphia Flyers. 7:30 at least is when the puck drop should at least start down there in Denver. And you can also see that contest on NBC Sports Network. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
Nick mentioned this last night, and I'll mention it again, too, with that Golden Eagle Holiday Classic coming up on Friday and Saturday. They're doing this for Toys for Tots, with the donation of a toy for Toys for Tots. The men's and women's basketball games on Friday and Saturday. If you bring in 1 new unwrapped toy donation, that is good for 1 free admission to the single day's game. So, again, children under 5 will get it free. Remember, Toys for Tots this weekend at LCCC. On the NBA slate for tonight, it is a busy one. For Wednesday, here's what's going on. The Magic in the Amway Center hosting the Los Angeles Lakers, Clippers, Raptors in the Scotiabank Arena. Kawhi Leonard returns to Toronto tonight. Rockets and the Cavaliers in the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Pacers in the Bankers Life Fieldhouse with the Celtics. Hornets, Nets in the Barclays Center. Jazz, Timberwolves in the Target Center. Hawks, Bulls in the United Center. Grizz and the Suns, they will hook up at the Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix. Pelicans and the Bucks in the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. Thunder and Kings in Sacramento tonight at the Golden One Center in Sacramento. And it will be the New York Knicks and the Golden State Warriors, the battle for futility. That will take place in the Chase Center in San Francisco. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi!
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
We are the key to your cleaning success. Over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
When you are dealing with the Coin Shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The Coin Shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
The tree is trimmed, the stockings are hung, and the gifts are wrapped. Stop into B&B Appliance and TV, where all of our major appliance and TV brands are on sale. Now through December 14th, we make your holiday shopping easy with free local delivery and haul away of your old with purchase of new. So hurry in and let the appliance experts at B&B Appliance help make your holiday meals grand. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 43. If tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 26 and winds out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 42. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 29.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Talk today for Wednesday. Our first guest hopefully will keep the program together here because Nick and I got back into town about 2 o'clock this morning from La Junta after doing back-to-back games. Unfortunately, they were both L's for LCCC men's and women. But we finally get to wrap up our high school segment as we bring on Glen Kirkbride, fourth-year head coach at Cheyenne Central. You know, you have, along with your assistant coaches, have been quietly rebuilding this program into respectability. And when we hear, especially from our other coaches, Wesleyan as well as Coach DeBryan, everybody says Central, watch out for this team in under their breath. So obviously you're doing something over there, Coach. Tell us a little bit about your upcoming season.
I don't know that we're doing much. I mean, it's those kids have played a lot of basketball over the years, and so the credit really all goes to them. We're just kind of there trying to guide it a little bit. But the season's really going to be a fun one, I think. I don't know. Expectations are pretty high around us. I don't know about the rest of the state, but around us, expectations are pretty high. Last year didn't end like we wanted it to, and so. This year we're gonna see what we can do, and just go play hard, try to improve every day. Same old stuff we say every year, but I think that really has to stick with this group.
Well, looking at the media poll that just was released on Wyo Preps today, you look on the girls' side of things, at least number one, at least overall, heading into the preseason is Thunder Basin, your defending 4A state champs. Yeah. Number two is Cheyenne East, and right behind, at least the Lady Thunderbirds, is your squad, at least Coach Kirkbride, again, garnering the most votes, at least number three, at least in the state. How much do you read into preseason polls, again, whether it is to kind of get a litmus test or at least a thought of who's to beat, so to speak, in Class 4A, or who's getting a little bit respect, especially on that west side of things that you might not be accustomed to or won't see at least a whole lot of looks throughout the at least 2019-2020 season. But is it something that you use to motivate your student athletes over there? Is it something that you try to avoid? What do you do with those preseason polls?
We don't do a whole lot with them. I mean, we don't. I don't even know if our kids see them very much. We'll get asked about it some, and when we get asked, the kids end up hearing about it. They know about it eventually. But a thing like today, I don't think any of them will even know. That's done by the coaches, and I think the coaches that we work with and around the state are awful good. I really do. And so that's a deal that I appreciate that. I really appreciate that respect. I don't know that we're quite there. But I would like to think by the end we could be. Again, we bring a lot of kids back and have a lot of experience, and so I hope by the end we can get there. I appreciate the respect, but I'm not sure we're quite there yet.
The last state title for Cheyenne Central, your boss actually, at the beginning of the 21st century, he took some teams to that state final as well as championship. So, you know what? I threw this at tag on the guy side. Central men's basketball got the tradition behind it, but even when I got here in the 80s, basketball on the ladies' side, both East and Central, okay. They were competitive, and then of course once we flipped to the 21st century, all of a sudden it was East and Central basketball tradition. Tell me a little bit about how you pass along tradition to these young ladies.
Oh, that's huge, and that's something we talk to them about all the time. Is that this is a real special thing to be playing basketball for Central. I mean, it just is. There is that tradition you talked about. It's dipped a little since Coach Whitworth left. I would love to kind of bring it back, and that's also something we talk about. Is that let's keep building on this and keep going all we can. To try to make this a power. I mean, I think this school could really be as much as the kids play, as much as we can make it. We want to make it a power, and so that's what we're working towards. The culture and the tradition are big things, and we keep playing them up.
Well, and it's going to be tough throughout this upcoming season as we look at our quadrant, not necessarily across at least entire Class 4A, but here in the Southeast, where you look at least in the two other schools here in Cheyenne with Cheyenne East, again, at your counterpart, at least garnering those second-place votes, and again, ahead in the preseason polls. Chad DeBryan, at least what he's at least developing over there at Cheyenne South with the Lady Fighting Bison, who are going to be very competitive. And then we'll see what happens with Laramie and the Lady Plainsboro, but just talk about at least the dogfights and the wars that you're going to have just here in our Southeast quadrant against those three other teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a part of our schedule we love doing because that's why we do it. At the same time, we don't look forward to it because those are all dogfights. I mean, they just are. The East Central game's just huge, and that's something if you've never experienced, you need to once because it's huge. But I'll tell you what, DeBryan has worked his butt off for years at that South program, and those kids, that core, are all juniors. He's done a heck of a job. They're going to be quite good this year. I mean, I don't think anybody should sleep on them. I know we're not. Laramie, I think Rod's very good. He's won a state championship, and so I don't know their kids as well. A couple of their kids came over and played some summer ball with mine, and so we know a couple of them. But yeah, night in and night out, it's a dogfight on this side of the state, our quadrant in particular, but obviously up to Gillette and all of them. It just is. It's a dogfight.
We're talking with Coach Kirkbride, Cheyenne Central Lady Indians head coach. The sad part about high school, you get them for 4 years, 9 through 12 again, and most of the time in grade 9, they're not playing varsity. They have to be really exceptional. So, maybe 10 through 11 and 12, and then they're gone. You can't go through free agency, and you can't make trades, that type of deal. But you, as the head coach of Cheyenne Central in your fourth season, your cupboard's not bare this year. You have some really talented ladies that are coming back.
We do. I'm real impressed with them all. It's been so fun to work with them. We do only get there 3 or 4 years, but this is just something you do so much of. You think about it all the time. You're with the kids all the time. You're thinking of how to do this or how to get the ball here and all of those things that you really develop a relationship with these kids, even in that short time. And so, yeah, I couldn't be more impressed. I wouldn't change anything about any of them. I'm anxious to go to war with my kids, and we'll go compete and see what we can do in the state.
Now, it's something we talked about, whether it was on the boys' side of things, whether it was with Tag, whether it was with Rusty Horsley or, again, Eric Wesley, again, throughout at least our time with the head coaches out here in Cheyenne. But, we saw what happened last season with that new format in the regional tournament. Again, we're, number 1 seeds, not an automatic berth to the state tournament. You got to fight throughout the regular season and also to that regional tournament, which, again, is double elimination. Again, same format, which will be happening for the east side up there in Thunder Basin, at least this season. But my question for you, Coach, is how do you keep them motivated throughout the regular season to say, hey, we still got to work hard, can't give up. We're still aiming for that number 1, at least seed, so to speak, in that regional tournament. Just talk about how are you going to keep your ladies kind of focused throughout that regular season and say, hey, we still need to fight for, we still need seeding placement, even though it does not at least affect state tournament, so to speak.
Yeah, I'll tell you, adding that double elimination game, it did change some things at the regional tournament, but as far as our approach to it at Central, it doesn't change our approach during the season. I mean, again, we try really hard, and I think we did not do a great job of this last year. We try really hard to just get a little bit better every day so that you're playing your best basketball at the end. Again, the old coach cliche thing. I think we started off a little extra hot last year. We were really good before Christmas, and then we weren't bad after, but we had some kind of hiccups. We talk a lot about just keep going, and even when we were playing East and South, and then we have that North group come down and play them once. We try to win them all. I mean, whether that affects our seeding or doesn't, we want to try to win them all. And I think that improvement and that success drives the kids. And then you can have little things, little hiccups. We talk about the peaks and valleys need to really be balanced out. When your peak is way up here and your valley's here, that's trouble. And so the regional tournament doesn't play into what we do. We just keep trying to keep on going, win them all, see what we can do.
Well, here we are. We're getting almost at least set for at least the regular season, at least non-conference, to get underway for Cheyenne Central, happening this weekend for East as well, too, and I do believe for Cheyenne South as they head over to at least Green River. But, our first action with Cheyenne Central, especially boys and girls, but specifically with the Lady Indians, will be coming up at least December 19th, that Thursday, as you'll head down to be a part of that Greeley West tournament, as you will be competing over at Northridge, at least high school there in Greeley, as you will at least take on Loveland, the Lady Indians versus the Lady Indians of Cheyenne Central. So we'll try to make sure to at least be specific on that one. That is a 3 o'clock at least tip-off out there in Northridge. But, let's focus on that at least upcoming tournament, at least here, at least next weekend. What are takeaways, whether it is this weekend, next weekend? What are you trying to look out for your team, so to speak? Obviously, wins are the key thing here, but, is it something, improvements on offense, improvements on a defensive side of things? What are kind of takeaways from these early preseason tournaments?
Yeah, I'll tell you, every coach whines about this, but there just is not much time from when the season starts, when practice starts, to when you're playing games. Again, we're all whiners, and I'm sure you've heard that before. But
so are the announcers.
There you go. But I tell you, it is a mad scramble in those first 10 to 12 days to get things in. So then this first weekend is just, okay, we've got a few things in. Let's go see how it works, what works and what doesn't, as far as the kids that gel and the offenses and how they go. By the second weekend, only 3 more practices, but you have had those games and those experiences. And so by the second weekend, things ought to be better. You ought to know those out-of-bounds plays. Everybody knows them, not just 3 or 4. You ought to be able to be a pressing team if you want to, and break the press when you need to. And so all this stuff before Christmas, frankly, is great, because it gets us on the floor and gets us playing against somebody that isn't us. They're ready to play against somebody that isn't us. But a lot of it is just, okay, here's our starting point now. Where do we go from there over the Christmas break?
I'm going to go back to a question that Nick asked you, going back to the regionals, which, of course, leads into state. And I can say this more than you can. I think the new format sucks. That's my opinion. And again, too, you used to get rewarded. And the first 2 teams would be rewarded. What's to say you don't take the regular season seriously now? I know that's not going to happen, Coach. And I guess the second part of the question is, you as coaches in 4A, is this law, is this going to be in effect forever, or is this on a trial basis? Because I heard from all of you down here last year, wasn't too thrilled about it.
Yeah. Change is always hard, I think. And so last year we hadn't even done it yet. It was something that was still coming. I kind of like the old way just because it rewards what you do in the season. I do. And again, that's what we're trying to do, is keep going with all that. My guess, you're asking me a question above my pay grade. I'm not that important. I guess if you ask me, will this stick around? My guess is it will for another cycle, just so that they get a real feel for what works and what doesn't. And so my guess is it'll stick around for another cycle. And then in education, athletics, all of it, there's kind of a pendulum swing. And so truly I would guess it would go back. But, I have no idea. And those guys, they think about a lot of things that I don't. I get pretty focused worrying about my team in the next game. And so I'm sure there's a lot of things they think about I don't ever even take into account. But that would be my answer to that, just guessing.
Final thought from me and Nick, we also ask this question as well, too. Coaching is a year-round profession now. And again, with our young ladies, and we've asked the other coaches as well, you know, they're involved, whether it's extreme or they're doing cross-country, golf, tennis. There's a lot of opportunities for our student athletes, both boys and girls. So how do you keep after your kids to stay fresh? You know, we hear the term open gyms all the time. Camps. Tell us a little bit what your off season was like, getting ready for our first contest down in Greeley.
Yeah. Well, you said it right. I mean, it's a year-round thing. It just absolutely is. And sometimes I step back and wonder if that's great for kids. I mean, when I was at LCCC with Coach Ortmeier, I really, really appreciated my time at that school with that administration and with Brian. A big thing we were looking for when we recruited kids was, have they done multiple sports? I mean, and I just think that keeps kids fresh, allowing them to do some extra things. Go try something different and learn from a different coach and use different muscles and figure all that out. So I think that's great. And that's a little bit of what we do. We suggest to those kids that they do other sports. They learn to compete in other sports. But other than that, we do, for anybody that wants to be there, we do a lot of stuff in the summer, and one of our big things is a summer league that we put on every Wednesday night through June. We bring teams in. Last year we had 22 teams come, and they come and play games between 4 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night. I set the schedule, and we just come play. We have 3 gyms running there at Central, and it's fantastic. We really appreciate all our sponsors and people that help us do that. The parents are great, but it allows us to bring all these area teams, and a number of them from Colorado, in to get games against other teams, to practice some different stuff, and get kids on the floor. We did some team camps. We did an individual camp. This last year, we've tried a couple of new things. We had a family camp. Kind of a +1 or a daddy-daughter. We called it a +1, kind of pattern after the daddy-daughter, but any player between 6th grade and 16, I believe is what we had, bring somebody over 18 and come play. It was awesome. It really was. And that stuff's fun. It's fun for little kids to see our kids. It's fun for our kids to get in the gym and do something that isn't, me hammering on it to go. So off-season's real important, and we do a lot with it.
All right, Coach. Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us. Good luck to you on the season, and we're looking forward to catching up with you, the Lady Indians and the Lady Indians, Loveland Lady Indians and the Cheyenne Central Lady Indians, our first contest right here on 1480 KRAE. We're going to take a time out. We'll be right back after these words here on 1480 KRAE. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. or call 635-3712.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
Family owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
10 years ago, the Department of Defense selected High West Energy to provide electricity on F.E. Warren Air Force Base. For a decade, we have been proud to work hand in hand with the Air Force leadership to ensure we provide the base with the affordable, reliable power it needs to be an economic driver for the region and serve a vital national security interest for this country. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480, KRAE.
Kirkbride, head coach of the Cheyenne Central Ladies, as we've had a chance now to chat with all of our area coaches as they get ready, our local coaches as they get ready for the preseason. We do want to let you know what's coming up. We'll have our LCCC Coaches Show today on tap. We will talk with LCCC men's coach Jason Ficca. He will bring in sophomore Kyle Cabs. Brian Ortmeier will be in at 4:30. He will bring in freshman Anna Terron, who will be joining us as well. We have more coming up on the basketball side. We'll check in on post-game comments from Mike Malone as Denver Nuggets lose last night in Philly at the Wells Fargo Arena,
which has been a rough road trip. At least
the East Coast has been just brutal on the Denver Nuggets, and there's some grumblings right now in the Mile High City. After we hear comments from head coach Mike Malone, we're going to go to football down in Denver, as we'll hear comments from Vic Fangio as they get ready for their next contest. And again, the talk right now, Drew Lock in the Mile High City. So we've got some good stuff coming up. Nick's got a weather update, so let's get into that weather update, and then we'll come back with head coach Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 43. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 26 and winds out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 42. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 29.
Well, let's just get this out of the way. Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray leaves with a trunk contusion. Is there any further update on his condition?
No, nothing. I just talked to him quickly. Kind of blindsided, freak accident, nothing malicious at all. Just a tough hit, and I think he got, just a contusion, if you will. But I don't think it's anything too serious. And then Paul at the end, when he was diving with that loose ball, just came up a little bit sore. So that's why he was out the last couple of plays. But I give our guys a lot of credit. End of a long road trip, not the result that we wanted, obviously, Chris, but cannot fault the effort. I thought our guys played really, really hard. Once again, offensively, struggling to make shots, struggling to score. And, we were undermanned, but we never quit. So really, really proud of this group.
Yeah, offensively, you had this stretch right at the end of the second quarter, 12-4 run to get back in contact there at halftime. Just what's it going to take to kind of cajole things and get the offense going where you want it to be?
Well, Jamal obviously is a big part of that. Obviously, with him not being there, I thought Will Barton stepped up. Obviously, Will started the game very, very hot. And then when Jamal went down early, we knew that we had to share those point guard duties with Monte and Will. And I thought both of those guys did a really good job. I thought Gary Harris was effective tonight. And the one thing I regret, I got to get Nicola more than 13 shots. He's our best player. Yes, they're a good defensive team, but the more he touches it, the more he shoots it, good things are going to happen for us. So that's one thing that I noticed right away. Need more Nikola Jokic shots.
Oh, you get to go back home now, and just it's been a long road trip, and how nice will it to be get back to Denver?
Oh, it's always good to get home. You know, obviously this is a tough road trip. Wasn't the trip we had hoped for, going 1-3. Make no excuses. Obviously, Boston and Philly are 2 undefeated teams at home, and we've seen why. But when we do go home, we have a 5-game homestand. And that's what I just told our players. All right, as bad as we feel right now, let's go home, get right, get some rest, and come out on Thursday night with a renewed sense of we have to get back to playing the right way and winning games at the level we know we're capable of winning. And that starts on Thursday against Portland, and then 4 more games after that. So really big homestand for us coming up.
Chances late there, and just couldn't quite get over the hump. Is that just a matter of just guys being fatigued or just spend so much energy trying to get back in the game and just end up with nothing in the tank at the end there?
Yeah, I think we were definitely fatigued. You know, I think that's definitely a part of it. I have to give them credit. You know, I always want to make sure you give your opponent credit. They did a really good job. They started switching pick and rolls late, keeping bodies on bodies. Will got a good look off that double drag late. You know, just came up short, but by no means through a lack of effort. But fatigue, to your question, played a part in that down the stretch.
2 teams pretty evenly matched to have kind of a playoff feel a little bit, the way you guys kind of went back and forth with each other, kind of went back and forth there.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, we were able to get one at our place against them, and I think our guys realized when we beat an Eastern Conference team at our place, they're going to hope to get some revenge when we come back to their gym. You have 2 of the best big men in the entire world, and Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, and then a lot of other good guys, you know, stepping up and making plays. So, good contest, playoff atmosphere, great place to play, great crowd. And now let's go home, get some rest, and get ready to go.
I apologize if you've been asked about this, but the 12 steals and the 10 blocks, did you sort of sense that you guys understood that you needed to step up with Jamal being injured just on the defensive end?
Well, I think whether Jamal was injured or not, I think it's something that we knew we had to bring to have a chance in this building. 12-0, and you look at their last 4 home games, the biggest leads they've been able to create, 20, 50, 26. So we had to bring a great sense of urgency. Last time we played them, season high 20 deflections. We needed to get back to playing with that activity. And in the paint, they only had 38, and that was a big point of emphasis going in, controlling the paint. So, you know, tough way to finish the road trip, but I can't say it enough. Our guys left it all on the floor, and as a head coach, that's all I can ask for.
Coach, you had some good looks down the stretch, but just weren't able to connect there. Can you just comment on the offense down the stretch there?
Yeah, you know, I think all season long, you know, if you're being honest, our offense has kind of been holding us back a little bit. You know, even when we were 13-3, our offense was not the offense that has been there for the last 3 years. And tonight, I think, was another example of that. It's really funny when you look at this road trip. We start off by making 21 threes in the Garden. We go to Boston, make 5. We go to Brooklyn, we make 18, and tonight we go 7 of 27. So we shoot it well in New York City. We don't shoot it well outside New York City. I don't know what the deal is, but we have to find ways just to be a little bit more consistent on that end because our defense has been great. I mean, here's another 97 points, 41 from the field, 33 from the three-point line. So our defense has been outstanding, been an anchor for us, but our offense and our inability to shoot and score consistently is putting a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense every night. You almost feel like you have to play perfect at times, and that's a tough way to play. We got to find ways to get easier baskets.
That first half attack, is that just you defending your guy?
Yeah, I got to fight for my guys. And I've told Nicole that last couple of weeks. I think he's getting fouled at times. Obviously, every coach feels their players are getting fouled at times, but I just wanted them to know I'm here, I got your back, and let the referees know, just voicing my displeasure. And I apologize to Wes Unseld because I did not mean to knock his clipboard out of his hands. Papers go everywhere, so it got a little messy over there. But, you know, I'm a fighter. I want our players to fight, and I want them to know that I got their back at all times, and I think they do.
Sure Thank you.
Thank you. I was going to say that sure was a result, but they got a little spark after that. Right after that, they didn't get a little bit of jump start after that.
Yeah, and that happens all the time. You know, I mean, like a player's a little emotion going to the game, and they see me going crazy. They get a little maybe sense of urgency, sense of fight, but I can only get so many of those. You know what I mean? My wife's not happy about that, so I got to save that money.
The holiday season is upon us. There's no doubt that this is the most wonderful time of the year. Hi, this is Rick Flood with Platte Valley Bank. I would like to express our sincere appreciation for your confidence and loyalty. We are deeply thankful and extend to you our best wishes for a happy and healthy holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Season's greetings from La Osteria Mondello. First and most importantly, thank you for your past and present patronage. Your business is not forgotten and is truly appreciated. This is the season of peace on earth and goodwill to men. So from Joe Mondello and everyone at La Osteria Mondello, 1507 Stillwater Avenue in Cheyenne, they want to take this time to wish you a Buon Natale, a Buon Anno. Thank you for dining local. La Osteria Mondello is truly blessed to have you as a friend and valued customer. The tree is trimmed, the stockings are hung, and the gifts are wrapped. Stop into B&B Appliance and TV, where all of our major appliance and TV brands are on sale. Now through December 14th, we make your holiday shopping easy with free local delivery and haul away of your old with purchase of new. So hurry in and let the appliance experts at B&B Appliance help make your holiday meals grand. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
When you are dealing with the coin shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The coin shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Draymond right now is, it's a high ankle sprain. We're not sure of the severity. Could be that he might be able to play this week, or it could be miss a couple weeks. Next few days will tell.
What was Drew doing so well on third down? That find success yesterday?
Completing some passes. He did a good job of seeing what they were in, where to go with the ball, and made good throws. And that's what helped keep drives going. Third down is a big down in the NFL. I think he's okay. He got stepped on in his foot, got a little bruise there, which is okay, and a little hip irritation injury. But they're still doing more tests on him, but hopefully optimistic.
It's only 2 starts. Has Drew exceeded expectations or met expectations?
I don't put ceilings or floors on guys. They can go as high as they want, hopefully not too low. I do think he played much better yesterday than he did the week before. Thought his passing was more accurate and more crisp than it was the week before. Made some plays with his legs, which was good. And I think overall he's had a good 2-week start to his career.
What do you think his performance yesterday could mean for his long-term future here?
I don't know. It's 2 games. I mean, who's long-term and right now? He's doing good.
Expectations next year.
He's done well for 2 games. That's about all it is.
What is the next step for him for next week? What do you need to see him do next week?
Hopefully more of the same. Maybe be clean, not throw a pick this game. But really, he's just progressing the way we had hoped, Better in week 2 than he was in week 1. I thought he felt comfortable out there. I think it was good that we got him his first start at home. So when he got his first start on the road, it wasn't his overall first start. We got to go play another really good team this week. He's going to have to deal with, you know, the hometown stuff that you guys and they will want to write about. But I feel good where he's at.
Was the plan always to throw that much with Drew, or as they stayed more in man, I get kind of surprised him, was it like, hey, then just keep going with this, I guess, or was it heavy on Drew going into that game, and that's how it worked out?
Well, we wanted to go have a good mix of run and pass, and we wanted to throw the ball on the early downs. We felt that they would, you know, be up there expecting some runs, and we thought we had a chance to hit some big plays on them.
You know, last week you said Jared Tayshue had kind of grown on you. How did that kind of continue on Sunday?
Well, it did. You know, obviously he got a couple sacks. It was a hard game for those guys. You know, they dropped back and threw the ball 60-some times yesterday. I know statistically a bunch of those get counted as runs when he scrambles, but it was 60-some passes, and that's a lot. And we got shorthanded there with our pass rushers. So it was a tough day for those guys from a fatigue standpoint. I thought he battled it well and gave us some good rushes.
Is he going to have kind of an extended opportunity here, you think, going forward to prove his
Well, he's been playing a lot,
yeah, these last couple weeks.
and he'll continue to play a lot.
How did Von Miller come out of the game? Did he feel okay?
Physically, I think he came out good. You know, I don't think he's any worse today than he was last week at this time. In fact, I think he's a little better, and hopefully, I think he's probably yesterday was operating at about 80%. Hopefully, we can get it up to 85 or 90 this week. He did fine. Played a pretty good half. Not perfect, but again, better, more positive than negative. We'll see. We'll see how that goes this week. You know, that was our plan last week. You know, I think he can be extended more. We'll see to what degree.
When a defense gets more tape on a young guy, they tend to adjust at points. How do you delay that or prevent that?
Just having good balance. You know, and balance just doesn't mean run and pass. Balance means types of passes, types of formations, you know, where you're looking to throw the ball. So balance has a multitude of meanings, not just run and pass, but what kind of runs, what kind of passes, formations, you know, when you're throwing, when you're not, et cetera.
If and when Houston didn't think you would come after them mighty or the way you did. You know, when a team is 3-8, you don't often see 2 wins in a row after it's 3-8. What do you think has been the key that you guys are, you know, you're kind of playing like you're in the playoff hunt?
Well, I think we've played that way the entire season. Obviously, you guys know we've had some tough losses. We were able to get one last week in a manner that we had lost, and we were able to get one this past week on the road, you know, once we got the lead and kept the lead. I think our guys like being here. They like playing with each other. We got a bunch of good teammates. You know, as you guys know, we've had a lot of guys claimed off the wire, signed off the streets this year, in an inordinate amount of people for most teams. And to a man, most those guys have said they've really enjoyed being here. They like the team. They like the atmosphere, the culture around here. And I just think these guys are playing hard.
If and when adversity strikes in game, what sort of response do you want to see from Drew Lock?
The correct response. Just go move on to the next play. You know, don't let a negative play have a hangover. Don't let it affect the next play. One play is bad play, doesn't need to be preceded by a future bad play. And I think he's got that mentality. I hope so.
Do you think you made a more aggressive approach offensively?
We had good mix, yes, we did.
Coach Noah Fan had a bit of a slow start, but where do you think he is now?
He's kind of, I think he's been up and down a little bit the entire season, and a lot of that is translated, you know, how many catches is he getting, how many yards is he getting. You know, those aren't going to be there each and every week. He made a really good catch on the first play and turned it into a 48-yard gain, ran a good route and catch for the touchdown. I think he's progressing, and I think the future's bright for him.
First and second-year players on the offense, how do you think they've handled, for the rookies, the transition to the pros in general and just their youth and what they're...
I think overall they've handled it well, and now, you can point to the record and say that's not true. But in each and every case, individually and collectively, there's been strides made. Obviously, they've hit some potholes along that route, but I think overall we can say that they've made progress.
You used the word painful yesterday when you were describing the defense in the second half.
Oh.
Did you have any real concerns, or what did you come away with?
No, I didn't. Painful in that, you know, when you have a 28-point lead at one point and you know the clock's on your side and you know you're having a hard time rushing, both because, you know, our depth there has been decimated a little bit. The amount of times they're throwing the quarterback you're rushing, who's very elusive. You know, it's tempting to, you know, add a lot of extra rushers, which we did a few times. But you don't want to, the worst thing you can do when you're up 28 is give them a quick 7. And, you know, that's the part that's painful a little bit.
Several of the linemen said that Rich, the last couple of weeks, has had some fun in meetings, put in some clips, kind of had some levity because the guys were getting so frustrated being so close. How do you think that has helped, and how do you strike that balance as a coach of finding kind of that button to push to unclench the fist a little bit?
Yeah, every little crumb that you can do to help and not hinder is good. And that's just the feel that you got to have as a coach.
Do you think it's worked these last few weeks? Have you noticed the change in practice or how guys are?
No, not really. I noticed a change in our production yesterday.
How do you feel about the whole Buzz Lightyear?
You know, I don't know anything about it. I mean, I know it has something to do with Drew, but honest to God, I don't know what the parallel is there.
So you haven't seen the movies? Or?
No. I can't tell you the last movie I've seen.
But I guess it's as long as they find something to bond on, right? Is that a...
Yeah, I mean, sometimes something silly can be a rallying cry for some people. Obviously helps you guys write an article or two, or it gives you something to talk about. But then when you get not have such a good performance, then I'm sure Buzz Lightyear will be, what's his name? Buzz Lightyear will be made fun of it, you know. So everything has its shelf life.
Coach, the decision to give the guys, I guess, Tuesday off, because most of them have Monday off, was that impromptu, or had you thought about that as the game went on, or even before the game?
I thought about it before the game. You know, they're kind of, in the old days, it used to be Victory Monday, because everybody used to give Mondays players would come in, Tuesday players off. We flipped it here, and a lot of teams are doing that now. I had thought about it and decided that if we had won, I would do it.
When you signed Kareem, did you look at him as you didn't know if he'd be a cornerback or a nickelback or a safety for you, or did you think he would be the safety?
Safety. That was the focus.
And did you think he'd be that good or as good as he is?
He can even be better. There's things that he can do better than he has been doing. He still shows at times lack of safety experience and lack of clean knowledge of everything. But overall, obviously, we've been very happy with him. You know, we were forced to play him at nickel some early in the year. I think that set him back a little bit. I even thought about playing him at corner. We never did, but I did think about it. But for his benefit, I just wanted him to keep developing at safety.
He plays much bigger than he is. Is that something that can be coached, and how important is that?
No, I think it's in you. You know, some guys just have that in them. You know, and he's been that way his entire career, including college.
When you say
Last one, Jeff.
Like a clean knowledge, what do you mean?
Lack of what?
Clean knowledge, you said?
Yeah, I mean, there's some fine points that he doesn't, that he isn't clean on yet at times, and one or two of them show up every game, show up out on the practice field every now and then. What little experience he had at safety in Houston, and it was very little, really hadn't had much carryover to here, the way we play. So, and then, you know, he had some hamstring issues in camp, if you remember, missed about 10 days, I think. You know, he's he's just he could be better. Now I know that's not trying to sound like Debbie Downer here after he had a hell of a game yesterday, but there's room for improvement there.
A couple more moments and we'll join our coaches show for LCCC. Men's head coach Jason Ficca first, Brian Ortmeier at the bottom of the hour. And again, Kyle Cabs joining us, the sophomore from Denver, Colorado, and from, I hope I say it right, Tarragona, Spain. One Anna Terron will be joining us at around 4:45. Just a couple baseball notes here. One concerns us, and the other one concerns the Yankees. The Yankees.
Well, the Yankees addressed the needs that they were so desperate to, at least, especially when you're losing CC Sabathia due to retirement. You had to find a replacement for him, so to speak, and, well, they found it.
$36 million a year worth?
I think Garrett Cole, yeah.
Garrett Cole,
I think with that,
9-year deal, $324 million. You know, we sit here, and people sometimes were mocking the NBA stars, and they're playing 82 games. You know, again, obviously, KD is out for the entire season. So is Clay, and we're going to miss the bulk of the season for one, Steph Curry.
Well, again,
and these guys
he's been shelved as well. But
I know, but these guys are making like $40 million.
Yeah.
But they play an 82-game season. We're talking about a pitcher who's going to see maybe with a 5-man rotation, 32 starts.
All right.
32 starts and $36 million a year.
Again,
the cabbage is getting really ridiculous right now.
But again, you deal with your starting pitcher. That is an anchor point. It's kind of like having a QB, you know, so to speak. You know, he's part of that rotation, and for the Yankees' sake, yeah, you're not going to get 32 wins out of him, so to speak. You're hoping for at least the minimum 20. But it is a situation that you are looking for those starters for moments in the postseason where, again, you have that crucial moment. You know, look what happened with the Giants and Madison Bumgarner bringing him in the World Series Game 7 against the Kansas City Royals, where, you know, you're looking for that body that can be there for, again, yes, postseason is a necessity. Regular season, you know, this is what you're anticipating. It can go either way for it. But, again, is he worth the money? I
guess
so.
By today's standards, yes.
Yankees have the money. They're
our Giants, again, baseball winter meetings, but the Giants were busy with the Angels yesterday. They pick up, and the Angels are doing a salary dump right now. They got rid of Zach Cozart, about $12.6 million salary-wise to the Giants, and then they also picked up prospect Will Wilson. But I think the most interesting part of yesterday for the Giants was getting the addition of Atlanta Brave Kevin, was it Gausman?
I do believe so.
And I think he's going to make about $9 million. But that also told me that the Giants are serious, and now they have begun talks with Madison Bumgarner's agent. So the Giants are very serious about keeping Matt Bum now too.
Not necessarily. Again, it sounds like that Madison Bumgarner's on his way out officially. That they held him on just to at least keep that team happy there in 2019.
Well, they're talking right now.
The understanding is that Madison Bumgarner is not going to be a Giant.
Well, yeah, they may.
Again, the Dodgers have been tossed around to pick him up, and a few other teams.
But at least the Giants are engaging the talks here at the winter meetings with his agent.
We'll see.
We'll see how that goes. All right. Anyway, just wanted to throw a couple of baseball notes out. The Garrett Cole, $324 million over 9 years as a New York Yankee. It is 4 p.m. We will come back with our LCCC Coaches Show right after this.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way, Platte Valley Bank on Vandehigh and at the corner of College and Pershing. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Delrange, right across from Powers Field and Menards, serving up 3 delicious squares Monday through Saturday. Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse, open Monday through Saturday. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. And across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Sweet D, the Greenway Commons, it's Mondello's Pizzeria. Mondello's open Monday through Sunday. Sundays noon until 8. Oh, by the way, First Tier Bank open Monday through Friday. And let's get to our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
We'll make it a quick abbreviated one, especially with LCCC as we get underway with our LCCC Coaches Show, which we'll get in depth on those games from last night down there in La Junta, Colorado, where it was LCCC, both men and women in action against the Lady Rattlers and Rattlers. Men's contest was up first here on 1480 KRAE, where LCCC was taking on the number 4 nationally ranked Rattlers team that is now 15-0 after defeating LCCC by a final score of 109-77. So with that loss, LCCC does fall to 2-9 overall. They will have a contest coming up this Friday here in town at the Rack as they will host Lamar Community College Lopes, part of that Golden Eagle Holiday Classic. 7:30 is the tentative tap time coming up this Friday. LCCC women's basketball from last night as they were taking on the Lady Rattlers. That was another loss, unfortunately, for LCCC as they fell 85-70. So with that, LCCC, Lady Golden Eagles, they will fall to 8-4 overall this Friday, part of the LCCC Classic on the women's side. They will host at least the nationally ranked number 9 Western Nebraska Lady Cougars at the Rack. 5:30 is the tentative tap time for that contest. Again, you do have other contests happening, part of this Golden Eagle Holiday Classic and the at least LCCC Classic. So again, hopefully tentative will be that 5:30 tip-off time. 5:10-ish pregame show here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is how you can hear those contests. NHL action for tonight, 3 games on the slate. First will be the Washington Capitals at home at the Capital One Arena. They will host the Boston Bruins. That will be a 5 o'clock at least puck drop on NBC Sports Network is how you can watch that contest. Montreal Canadiens at home. They will host the Ottawa Senators. And last but not least, down there in Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado, the Colorado Avalanche will host the Philadelphia Flyers. 7:30 is the start time for that one. And you can also see that contest on NBC Sports Network. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
And for the Golden Eagle Classic, I want to remind you it's about Toys for Tots this weekend. Yes, there could be some great basketball action. Please bring 1 new unwrapped toy donation, which is good for 1 free admission to a single day's game. Children under 5 will get in free. So again, please bring out a toy for Toys for Tots this weekend for the Golden Eagle Classic. NBA, boy, it is busy tonight. Lakers at the Magic. Clippers will be in Toronto to take on the Raptors. Rockets Cavaliers at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. It will be Celtics and the Pacers in Indianapolis. Hornets Nets at the Barclays Center. Jazz Timberwolves in the Target Center. Hawks and the Bulls in the United Center. Grizz and the Suns at the Talking Stick Resort Arena. Pelicans and the Bucks tonight in Milwaukee. Sacramento Kings in Sacramento at the Golden One Center. They'll host the OKC Thunder. The Warriors tonight in the Chase Center in San Francisco. They will play host to the New York Knicks. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
At Mountain Dew, we say here's to the doers. The people who know you gotta do what you gotta do.
Who do it big.
Then do it bigger.
Who don't just watch.
So if there's something you wanna do, here's a little advice.
Grab yourself an ice-cold Mountain Dew.
Then get to it.
That's right. Get going.
Get started.
Stand up.
Jump up.
Grab hold of it.
Throw down on it.
Run with it.
Now. Right now.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week.
Next month.
Next year. Work it out.
Grind it out.
Get stoked.
Get passionate.
And do it.
Do it till it hurts.
Do it till you can't.
Do it till you've done it.
And most of all, don't ask how other people do it.
Don't ask how you should do it.
Don't ask if it can be done.
Don't ask if it's ever been done.
Because there are those who don't.
And those who do.
At Mountain Dew, we say, let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Do the do.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball, local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, LCCC Coaches Show Day, being brought to you by Laramie County Community College. Up first, men's head coach Jason Ficca. We can get back into last night's game for those that didn't hear the number 4 rated in NJCAA. We're talking about the Otero Rattlers. Proved why they are number 4. They're a very good outfit. I'm not going to take nothing away from them. 109-77 last night. They did it without Raquandis Mitchell, who did not play. So, Marquise Johnson came in. He did a great job for them.
The spotlight was more so the big man Nelson, who again was just a force.
We've never seen him before, and he comes in last night, and he's he's 6'11". We don't match up size wise, and he puts in about 20+ points. I mean, it was almost like everything that could go wrong against LCCC did last night.
Yeah, for the most part, they're a really good team. They got good players. I mean, they're very well balanced. They can score inside and outside. They've beaten they've beaten everybody, but they had a good away win against John Logan. Johnny Logan has a player that they're saying is a lottery pick, a one and done JUCO guy. He'll be in the NBA next year, and that was their opener. So they've beaten really good teams on the road, and Otero's a really good club, and they got good players. There was, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 Division I coaches in there. I know I saw a couple Mountain West schools, UNLV, San Jose State. We've fielded some calls about some of their players, having played twice. Some in Big 12 schools have called us about some of their players. So they're legit.
And we saw those scouts again. They were pretty, at least not hard to miss again, with the, at least, sweatshirts and everything. Just the regalia that was on those, at least on their sweatshirts saying San Jose State, UNLV. But for you, Coach, when you see those scouts walk into gymnasiums, whether it is down there in La Junta, up here at the rack, is that something, as you take your athletes into the locker room, that you kind of talk with them, mention to it, of almost kind of a motivator, so to speak, of, hey, we got some Mountain West scouts in here, try to play your best game to kind of move on that next level, or do you just try to avoid it altogether?
Well, we do. We always mention it. And then one of the anonymous people that you probably didn't notice was in there was a man named Brandon Goebel, who's probably one of the most powerful people in JUCO basketball. He's the JUCO advocate. He runs a scouting service, and if you play well in front of him, he literally has the cell phone number of every head coach in the country. Literally, you name it, he's got it. And so if he puts the Midas touch on you, you're going to go somewhere. And then he's the guy who ran the J45 event that Tyrese Potoma was in, and Tyrese showed up at that last summer and walked out of it with a Division I scholarship. So you play well in front of Brandon Goebel, then that really helps you. So it's definitely something we mentioned to our guys. This would be a good night for you to really, really play well. And I don't think that we did ourselves a whole lot of favors with the way we played yesterday. But some individuals performed pretty well. But as a team, we just have a lot to work on, and a lot of freshmen, and we got to keep getting better.
The one thing, and Nick mentioned this, and I agree with him, and we haven't really discussed that with you, Coach. You and Coach Salisbury, you've been at this a long time. You know how to relate to these guys. You know what you'd like to have accomplished on the court. But these are young men. They all come from different areas. But it seems like even though you've been together about 3-4 months now, they still don't communicate well. Am I off base?
No, you're not. You're pretty accurate there. We're constantly trying to emphasize communication, and that's something that when the freshmen come in, they look to the sophomores. And we have Mateo Zovko, whose English is not his first language. He doesn't talk very well or very much at all. Courtney Dean is a pretty quiet, low-key kid. And Kyle Cabbs is, for the most part, a low-key guy. He's much more demonstrative on the court than he is personality-wise. So there's not a whole lot of example there for those guys on the communication side. So coaches can harp on it and we can, whatever, make them run when they don't talk, or all those, coaching tactics. But it's something that has to get into the culture of your program. It's hard to do at the 2-year level. That's really, that communication can take much more time to develop. And I bet you every junior college coach in the country would point to that and say, yeah, it's a frustration. We just can't get guys to communicate the way they need to and way we want them to.
We look back at last night's game with Mateo being out with the ankle injury, and again, you'll give us an update here in just a little bit. But you threw out 3 guards last night, which I actually thought, as far as ball handling was concerned last night, all 3 of them very capable ball handlers, not going to get you in trouble. Just need more biscuits to go in the basket.
Yeah, I mean, our offensively, we were pretty decent last night. We shot the ball fairly well. Didn't get a ton of free throw attempts, but made the ones, I think, pretty well that we got. We just didn't defend very well. 77 points should be enough to win a game if you're defending and rebounding properly, but it wasn't enough when you give up 109. It wasn't even close.
Well, and again, as we talk about that, at least offensive output, but at least focusing on the defense, and it's something that we've seen, quite many a times when, again, you're facing up big bodies, whether it is height or size, especially on the inside. And we talk about in spot like that Nelson character for Otero, where, again, he found easy looks on the inside. So he had, about 6, 7, umpteenth amount of slam dunks along with the other rattlers on that team. But, it's something that, we're seeing as a commonplace that, these bigger sized guys are forcing their way on the inside past LCCC's defense, where they're not even putting up a fight, or when they pick up like a Chris Grace or an Ash Tejua, when they pick up those 2-3 fouls, become almost hesitant to get a little physical on the inside with some of those bigs.
Yeah, I mean, we had some coverage issues. I mean, we're not rotating right on the back side of the rim, and that was something that carried over from Saturday's contest with North Platte, where we didn't rotate well to the backside. When our 5-man, when our center in the zone comes to the penetration, we've got to have a weak side wing drop down, and he's just not doing it. So that's something we're going to emphasize tomorrow in practice. We'll set up some situations and isolate that situation. We're also not defending ball screens very well. And it's been a while since we really worked a lot on ball screen defense, especially in the zone. Early on in the year, we worked on ball screen defense and man-to-man defense, but we really haven't broken that down, which is, I think, that's on me as a coach for not breaking the situations down. But we keep getting exposed, and then we correct that one, and then there's a new thing we get exposed, and we keep trying to correct. But overall, I think I got to get back to my personality as a coach, and I've gotten away from it. We do a lot of stuff 5-on-5 in practice and try to, and my personality as a coach to break things down, be much more technical, do things 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and build the 5-on-5. So I'm really looking forward to after the holiday when we have time and we have no classes. We have our guys on campus for 3 weeks with no classes, so we can get in the gym twice a day for that whole time, really. And really break some of this stuff down like we haven't done. And that's what I'm looking for, really getting back to my personality as a coach and really break some of this stuff, because these freshmen really need it. And that's a part of why we're at where we're at. It's not the whole reason, but I can definitely do a better job as a coach, and I'm looking forward to making that change in my coaching style. I probably can't do much about it for Friday's game. We have one day to get ready, but we got some time after Christmas here to really make some changes.
Real quick, too, without the beat down on the 2-9 record, I mean, hell, this is preseason. So, again, this is not going to get you in a Region 9 tournament action. It's what you do against the North, and that comes up after the first of the year. Let's go on the positive side. all these freshmen that are in there, you have to be seeing some progress made by some of this class.
Yeah, no, I Damian Perry's our two leading scorers are both freshmen, Eric Oliver and Damian Perry. So they're definitely performing pretty well overall. The bigs are a work in progress, but I'm seeing some progress there. Dante Sofia, that might have been his best performance of the season last night. Ashraf is getting better as well. Those guys are just going to take more time. They've played less basketball. Dante, being from the UK, I don't think he played as much basketball. Ash, Canada, I don't think he's played as much basketball as the kids in here in the U.S. do. So it's just going to take a little more time with those guys. But overall, there's something to build on here, and that's what we're going to emphasize and get after it.
Again, Coach, you've been in at least JUCO ranks or at least head coaching ranks for a long time, not even just here at LCCC, but throughout, again, your life. But, something that we spotlighted with the men's contest and also same with the women, here we are 11 games under your belt, and you talk about this freshman. It's something that we talked about at least pregame and postgame for both of those contests last night against Otero. Just give us your insights on how hard is it to get those freshmen, at least athletes, to get over some of those high school, antics that they've been taught, so to speak, where you're trying to get them, hey, this is college basketball. Don't get away from this. Learn it my way.
You rely on sophomores to set an example. And for the last couple of years, 2 years ago, we lost 2 freshmen to Division I schools that should have been our best sophomores returning. And then last year, same thing. We lost 2 freshmen to Division I schools that should have been our leaders, and so we've got a void in the sophomore classes where our best freshmen were not. I mean, that's a product of our own success there by recruiting good freshmen and losing them. But then we have this. Not only we lose the experience, but those are the guys that we were counting on this year to be our leaders. In the case of both of them, we went pretty deep in the summer thinking we were going to get them back, and then you scramble to find a replacement. And then their leadership is not there when you're trying to get the freshmen up to speed. So it's right now, certainly I think that's a big part of why we're at where we're at, is because for the last 2 years, the guys that we were going to be counting on to be our leaders, and not only statistical but emotional and psychological and mental leaders, have not made it back for us, which is a good thing for them and a good thing for us overall, but we pay a price.
Final thought, Coach, and we want to thank you for joining us, and we will catch up with you against Lamar coming up on Friday evening. Lamar, and then turn around Saturday, and you take on Trinidad State. Couple of teams I'm going to be opinionated on that are winnable games that you should be very positive wins for the program leading into the Christmas break. Christmas break coming at the right time for you?
Yeah, I think so. I'm glad that we have a couple games, especially home games, and a chance to end on the right note. And I think we will. I think we'll play pretty well this weekend and have a good chance to win them both. So looking forward to it.
I do want to, at least a final thought from me for you, Coach, as we are, as you mentioned, the Christmas holiday upcoming very quickly. I do want to mention, at least have your chance, Coach, to at least give a plug for the holiday camp upcoming for LCCC. Just talk about more about that of, folks, how to get involved with the holiday camp. Again, a camp that's involving at least the youth here in Cheyenne.
Yeah, we got the holiday camp coming up right after Christmas, the 30th, 31st, and then the final day is New Year's Day. Goes 3 mornings there. You can register by going onto our website, golccc.com. Click on the camps tab. And I also want to mention Toys for Tots this weekend, bringing new unwrapped toy. I've got one in my car. It's been in there for a couple weeks. Hopefully it's not too beat up, but it's ready to go. And so free admission if you bring a toy, and we do it every year. We try to do the Toys for Tots thing and hopefully make some kids happy.
Knowing you, Coach, it's a basketball and it's gone flat. Anyway, we will catch up with you on Friday. We'll remind people about that, too. So remind me in our pregame show that we talk about the camp as well. All right, Jason Ficca joining us on our first half of our coaches show. We're going to come back and we're going to talk with sophomore Kyle Capps from Denver, Colorado after this here on 1480 KRAE.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
The tree is trimmed, the stockings are hung, and the gifts are wrapped. Stop at the B&B Appliance and TV, where all of our major appliance and TV brands are on sale. Now through December 14th, we make your holiday shopping easy with free local delivery and haul away of your old with purchase of new. So hurry in and let the appliance experts at B&B Appliance help make your holiday meals grand. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger Grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger Grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Shopping for the golfer on your Christmas list is really easy when you stop into the Airport Golf Shop or the Prairie View Golf Shop. Right now, enjoy savings up to 50% off on selected items throughout, and remember, gift certificates are always available. Or talk with Mike and his staff about golf repair or re-gripping the clubs for next season's play. From golf balls, apparel to golf clubs and more, do your holiday shopping for the golfer today at the Airport Golf Shop at 4801 Central Avenue or the Prairie View Golf Shop at 3601 Windmill Road in Cheyenne.
Season's greetings from La Osteria Mondello. First and most importantly, thank you for your past and present patronage. Your business is not forgotten and is truly appreciated. This is the season of peace on earth and goodwill to men. So from Joe Mondello and everyone at La Osteria Mondello, 1507 Stillwater Avenue in Cheyenne, they want to take this time to wish you a Buon Natale, a Buon Anno. Thank you for dining local. La Osteria Mondello is truly blessed to have you as a friend and valued customer.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 43. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 26 and winds out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 42. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 29.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Sports Talk today. We get to talk to sophomore Kyle Capps. He was with us last year. Kyle, as I remember, you have a really intense major going on over at LCCC. Update us again on that.
Right now I'm going into engineering, looking to transfer to my 4-year, looking to get into the marine biology and marine engineering course. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's way above my pay grade.
Top tier stuff out there. So, we talk about at least, what you're studying right now at LCCC, but, that is primarily the focus. Again, you're there as a student athlete, but now here we focus on to the basketball side of things for you, Kyle. We talk about your freshman year, again, ailed by that ankle injury, but, so far, seen you out there for a few contests. Would you say right now ankle feeling 100% this season for yourself, or is it still kind of nagging a bit here?
No, it's actually feeling 100%. The trainer, Megan, did an excellent job keeping me, so I stayed over the summer just to make sure, lifted just to get bigger, and then also working with her just to keep the ankle stronger. So if I did have a little setback, it wouldn't be a big one how it was last year where I had to sit out for a lot. So, but right now I haven't had any issues with it in practice or any games, so she did a really good job.
You know, with David and Tyrese being gone, and Coach alluded to that, you know, that he was really leaning heavily on them being back with you guys, you, Mateo, and Courtney. And again, we had Courtney on last week, and Courtney's kind of a silent type of guy, you know, I mean, for a sophomore, and Mateo, again, still, you know, battles the language. So everybody's kind of throwing the pressure on you, throwing the gauntlet down on you that you need to step up and help these freshmen along. But I want your honest opinion, and I saw this last night while you guys were warming up. You watched Otero. We know they're number 4 in the nation. They're over there. They're slam dunk. They look like an NBA team last night. They're all relaxed. We're uptight. What's going on there, pal?
I think right now it's just nerves. I mean, being down, we're 2-9 right now, but last night we were 2-8. Just having all that, and then seeing coaches walk in when you see a big UNLV jersey or jacket, and then coach telling us the most powerful guy in JUCO's in there, you know, that can really play with freshman minds, depending on who it is. So I think it was just a lot of nerves right now, and then just the first time we played them, just seeing how that went, and then so I think it was just nerves, and then being in a hostile environment as well. There's always nerves when you go on the road, so I think that really played a big part.
You know, I look back at last night's game as well, too. You know, here you are. You're 6'5", 6'6". You know, you're going up against tall timber all the time. I mean, they threw out last night the kid from Dublin, Ireland. He's 6'11". You and Caleb, and Ash is an inch higher, and then Dante's an inch higher at 6'8". I mean, every night we're going up against guys that are bigger than us. I know you got the bone. You can jump and get us some rebounds and all that. But, I mean, I tell you what, does it just drive you nuts sometimes? You take a look across the way, and they throw all these big cats at you?
Yeah, it kind of does get annoying because there's so much that you can do physically, and then when you look at KRAE, it's like, oh, he's 6'11", and he's not just a scrawny 6'11". He had a muscle build. The guy last night, he was actually pretty big and strong. So from that standpoint, it was a big battle last night. You know, I had to play the 5 a little bit sometimes, so battling against him, that took a big toll. I was exhausted after the game, so yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Something we've talked with Coach, and again, he kind of agreed with us, and we'll get your opinion again as a player on that court right now, again, you being inside of that. But, you know, would you agree that there is a lack of communication on that floor? And again, we'll spotlight a few plays that, again, as we highlighted last week, you know, again, talking about, again, nothing against Dante Sophia, but he took back-to-back games getting hit in the head with at least an errant pass where he was not paying attention. But, you know, is that something you're also seeing, Kyle, out there? Again, it is a lack of communication, a lack of understanding of, hey, I need to be here, or I'm driving this way. You got to throw me the ball here, and not 10 feet to the right of me.
Yeah, it's a big lack of communication on the court. I mean, when we're off the court, it's crazy because we're like pretty much the best of friends. We talk all the time, but like once we step on the court, it's silence. It's like we don't know each other, and then you have the plays. Even in practice, that's where it really starts is from in practice, is we're even quiet then, and then even the passes that go off people's heads and stuff happens in practices, and then you can see it reflected in the game. So it really starts off in practice. So the communication really is lacking on that standpoint.
You know, a couple of games, as I was mentioning, Coach, and you agreed as you sat down that these are winnable games against Lamar as well as Trinidad. You didn't get to play against Trinidad, and I know it's almost like Trinidad State has just been a big bugaboo for you. Got hurt down there, and then you were suspended at that time, so you couldn't play at Trinidad. But you get that opportunity this weekend. Again, if we can get those 2 wins, that'll bring us to 4-9 against preseason. It's not even Region 9 play, but you know, you're 100 miles away from home. You get that opportunity. It's Christmas break, you get to go home and see the family. I mean, I don't want to use the word burnout, but are you guys like chomping at the bit to just see some family?
I believe so. I believe especially the freshmen that come from far away, like our Massachusetts guys, guy from Texas, even our foreign guys that come from all the way from Europe. I know they have to be really going through it. I don't think they've been this far away from their family for this long of a period of time. So I think they really are like ready to let's get these 2 games under the belt so I can really go home and see some family. And I think everyone needs it at this point right now. I think we'd all just need a break mentally and physically from the game, and then come back come to January 1st, where we're 0-0, and these games really matter. I mean, these games that we've been playing right now, so much it don't really matter, even though they do matter. But going into the region tournament, these games that we're about to play starting January 1st, these are the games that really count.
It is that mantra that Coach Ficca talks about of, hey, these early months don't really matter. It's once February, March come around, you want to be playing your best basketball, and that's what we're hoping out of LCCC. Now for UConn, again, your sophomore season, final season with Coach Ficca and LCCC. You know, compared to freshman season to now, here you are realizing that, yes, you got a goal, so to speak, again, to at least win and compete with LCCC and hopefully get to that national tournament opportunity with this Golden Eagles squad. But, you know, also, too, as we talked about having those scouts at La Junta last night, again, that's also, too, on your mind as moving on from LCCC. What's kind of your goals, focus for the sophomore year with LCCC?
Really is just to get to the next level. I really want to play, obviously, the D1 basketball. I believe I can get there. I think I just need to do more right now, and obviously – the 7 points and the 8 rebounds isn't really doing anything, so keep losing. So I believe I need to at least get into the double-double area, averaging that for the rest of the season, and then hopefully that will pull off maybe a miracle and get us back on track to where we were playing how we were in the Jamboree, where we didn't even know each other as well, but we were playing way better. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but we looked way better on the court. We were just playing off each other, and we look really good in the Jamboree.
All right, man, I'm going to put my money on you. I think you can do the double-double thing, be cheering for you. I always do cheer for you guys, trust me. All right, hey, Kyle Capps, thank you so much. We'll see you on Friday and Saturday out at the Rack as they'll take on Lamar. The Lopes coming up on Friday evening, and Saturday evening, technically, they'll be going up against the Trinidad Trojans. Go take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk with ladies head coach Brian Ortmeier right after this here on 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in Bow, Cheyenne, and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Have you talked to your kids about vaping? Most e-cigarettes and vaping devices still contain nicotine, which can harm adolescent brain development. The flavors and chemicals in e-cigarettes and vaping devices may also contain formaldehyde and a weed killer, and can also cause headaches, nausea, lung and heart disease, plus damage to your liver, kidneys, nervous system, and can lead to cancer. Don't be fooled. This message is brought to you by the Wyoming Institute of Population Health.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480KRAE.com.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, LCCC Coaches Show. We talked with Jason Ficca. Thank you again to Kyle Capps. Now we talk to ladies head coach Brian Ortmeier. Unfortunately, on the second half of the doubleheader, losing last night, 85-70. But I guess the tale of two. And what I mean by that, Coach, where we see the guys a little more uptight, the ladies more relaxed, not because they're on a 6-game win streak, but you even notice that too after the loss. It's like, you don't know how to read them, but, they lose. It's no big deal. They'll come back to work and get ready to play the next game. They win, they come back to work and get ready to play the next game. I mean, this is a unique crew that you have.
It definitely is, and there's some good to that in that, if you do take a tough loss, you're able to kind of put it behind you quickly instead of letting that linger. That's one thing that this team has shown is that, even a bad start, we seem to put it behind us pretty quickly, and we battle back, and we're able to kind of chip away at it. But I think some of that looseness at times, we get a little careless to start the game. I think, again, you saw that last night. 4 out of, I think, our first 5 possessions, we force a shot trying to drive to the rim instead of trying to work a little harder for a good shot. Same thing on the defensive end. Instead of being, tight and precise to what we're supposed to be doing, we kind of had a couple people not on assignment, and we give up some easy shots, and you can't start games that way. So you see a little bit of that, I think, tying into how we've been starting some of these games and just maybe being a little too loose when we take that approach to the start.
Well, the good thing is, looking at this year's squad to previous, at least, teams for you, Coach Ortmeier, is as we're talking about, hey, this team, isn't really affected by the losses. They realize, hey, we got business to work on. This is also too something I spotlighted in last night's game and a few others for your Lady Golden Eagles. This is a team where is not afraid to shoot. We just need to find the consistency to at least get those shots to fall through sometimes, whether it is that starting 5 or again the freshman 5 that do come in for you, Coach. But it is a team that is, if they are slumping, they're still going after that basket, not afraid to shoot.
Yeah, and, looking at the box score from last night, we're going to have to be able to generate probably more outside shots. Now, whether that's playing off our post and being able to get them better seals so we can play inside out, or being able to get into some gaps better to be able to hit some drive kick. The way that we shoot the basketball, we probably didn't shoot enough from outside last night. And, I think we're 7 for 21 or 7 for 22 walking out of there. We needed to be probably upwards of 11 or 12 three-point makes. So if we're going to take 30, 35 attempts, I'm okay with that. But we're going to have to keep shooting. I mean, we shoot it with confidence, and again, we're going to have to find ways to get us set up better to get some more of those shots and being able to play off our inside as well to get that inside-outside game going.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because what we saw last night during the game, whether it's the bigs or, our next guest, trying to drive the lane and going up against the bigs. And again, we just had Kyle in here, and Kyle was saying, hey, man, that was a beatdown last night. They were working him over and over and over. And, you look at Kaysen, she can match up, Abby can match up. But when you're going up against 2-3 of the same height, it's a beatdown after a while, and you're trying to work inside the lane for those buckets. They're just not falling. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I think you are a much better outside shooting team in the 3 years that we've covered you now. I think you got exactly some of the pieces you needed this year.
Yeah, there's no question about it in terms of just how many we're hitting a game. I want to say we're in the top 30 in terms of three-point field goal percentage in the country. So we're shooting it at a very high rate, and we're making a ton of them. It's just we need to probably shoot more. Some of that with our post game, we've got to do a better job of putting them in position to be able to get a better seal. You could see a lot of times with Abby's catches down low last night, she's below the block, she's turning, she's below the backboard. So some of that is just a positioning issue where we've got to get her in better places. We've got to get Kia in some better places around the hoop to get her going. But again, we talked about that quite a bit today, the coaching staff, in terms of just getting some of the 4s and 5s in a little better place to catch so they're not necessarily out of position or super far away from the basket so we can get them going too.
Communication. we use that with the guys, so let's use it with the ladies. Seems like they're a little more in sync with each other. I mean, they'll come, the trapping. They're very good at breaking the press going on down. They know where to throw the basketball. Very few mental mistakes are made that way in the court. You and the coaching staff have to feel a little at ease that whoever's handling the basketball pretty much not going to dribble it off their leg half the time.
Yeah, we've done a really good job of adjusting to some of the pressure that we saw early in the season. We're handling the press much better now. We're going to see press on Friday and probably going to see press on Saturday too, so we need to carry that momentum into the weekend. As you speak about the communication piece, so we were lacking that probably more than anything on the defensive end, and that's one area that the 2 times that we have played Otero, it hasn't been what it's needed to be. Again, you look at Colby, which was a 1-point loss, and McCook at the beginning of the year, I think, was 3. The 2 games that we've really struggled in has probably been the 2 games where we haven't communicated well on the perimeter, communicated our switches early enough in terms of how we were going to defend some of those things. And then, again, a couple of those fast breaks they had in transition, we didn't get matched up quick enough to cover the shooters up, or somebody on the backside of a fast break, so somebody's taking ball, somebody's taking backside. So just some small communication breakdowns when we get against some of these teams that shoot it and play a little faster, and it's something that we're going to have to continue to work on.
And the kind of the rare mental mistakes, again, not the spotlight, but again, at least play last night from Jakia on that at least free throw attempt, where again handing it out and not realizing that it was the and one situation, and again at least cause a turnover there for LCCC, but something. And again, that game last night, Coach, just felt like it had wackiness all over, whether it was scoreboard issues, trying to figure out foul situations that, again, they had to adjust, and that slowed down at least a good run that your team was on, without a doubt. And that, when we saw what happened.
Communication with Mr. Miyagi?
Yeah, well, again, the technical that you did receive last night, where, again, there were a few at least interesting calls. Again, at least two starting possessions for your team were called at least a 3-second violation against the Lady Golden Eagles. But that game though just had wacky implications just up and down for you, at least for you, Coach. But let's talk about those missed calls and also to that at least technical foul that you received. How do you keep kind of the Lady Golden Eagles, or whether it is assistant coach Danielle Ronaldo, kind of focus the Lady Golden Eagles, to not focus on, hey, they missed that call on us. Well, they missed another call. Well, coach now got a technical. How do you keep the Lady Golden Eagles kind of focus away from kind of the negativity that's kind of outside of their realm?
Well, I feel like for the most part this year I've done a pretty good job of focusing on what's happening on the court and not really trying to ride the refs too much. It got to a point that, again, there were so many just kind of goofy calls and things that were getting missed. And you mentioned it. We had a 3-second call. The only 2 3-second calls that were called the entire game happened on the first possession that we had the basketball of the first half, and then our first possession of the second half. So, again, it's one of those things you really try to focus in on what's happening on the court. We probably, in that stretch, again, when I was kind of badgering the refs and again, I don't feel like for what was said it probably deserved a technical, but you just have to keep your cool and focus on what's happening on the court. And again, we've got to be able to. You mentioned that the game just felt like there was some wackiness to it in terms of the momentum swings, and going back and watching that game today, we have it down to a 1-point game right at the end of the third quarter, and we have all the momentum. And then we have again watching the sequence, we have a bad closeout. They drive it to the hoop. We contest it. They miss the shot. Offensive rebound, kick out for a 3. They get a second offensive rebound, and we foul them. She misses the free throw, and obviously on the offensive rebound she gets the putback. But then there's the issue on the free throw where we throw it to the ref and it goes out of bounds, and then they run an inbounds play and score. So instead of us going into the fourth quarter maybe with the lead or a 1-point game, now we're back down 6-7 points again. So those are the little things when you play good teams. Otero again is I believe they're sitting at like 10-2, and their 2 losses are to Casper. So they're a good team in Region 9, and when you play those teams, you can't have those mental mistakes and be able to give up those runs. So, again, there's things that we'll learn from to get better at.
Well, hopefully, again, that was that game to get all that out of the system, so to speak, of the Lady Golden Eagles, because now, at least focusing this weekend, you're going to have a tough character, at least team coming in on Saturday, but the focus is Friday's contest, where you're going to host number 9 Western Nebraska Lady Cougars. Again, a phenomenal outfit out of Region 9 South. Thankfully, we don't have to see them at least competing in the division out in the north. But, this is another squad where it doesn't get any easier, and this is a team that's absolutely going to make you pay for those turnovers, and you're going to see probably similar results of what happened down there in La Junta.
But you do get them at home, just like Trinidad State.
Yeah, and, I would say the difference between them and Otero, they don't shoot it from outside like Otero. They've got one player, their point guard, who shoots it very well from three. If you look at their next two best three-point shooters, one's at 22% in terms of – she's got a lot of makes, but – missed a lot. So she's sitting at right around 22%, one at about 28%. So again, there's some things that I think we can take advantage there in terms of how we're going to scheme them up defensively. But with their pressure, that's where they've had the advantage. They'll be trailing somebody by 6 to 8 points, and then all of a sudden they get 2-3 steals, and then they kind of jump on you. So for us, it really again comes down to taking good care of the basketball, working for good possessions, and then again they're good on the board, so we've got to make sure that we're boxing and finishing possessions when we do force them into a miss.
Do want to mention at least quick note about that Otero Lady Rattlers team from last night. As we're talking about outside shooting, they were second in the nation on both attempts, at least three-pointers, attempts per game, and also 2 3-pointers made in a contest. So again, you were seeing the second, at least, best team in the nation.
Well, and also too, and I think, Coach, you'll agree with me, and the team would too. You tip your cap to Leah Mafua. She was absolutely phenomenal last night, and Emma Flores. They were 1-2 punches.
They were. And, going into the game, we wanted to take away their threes. We wanted to make them have to work for it. So the 7 that they did make was their lowest on the season. Coming into that game, I think the lowest total they had hit was 11, which is, they're really shooting it well. So we defended that well. But then again, we had to do better on Mafua, and we had to do better on Flores, and just didn't get it done with those 2 interior spots.
Usually, Nick, when somebody puts up 38 against you, that's not going to bode well in the box score as well. Coach, thank you so much. We're going to talk to you Friday night when you host Western Nebraska, and then, of course, we'll have you for Trinidad State, and then we'll get on break. I guess from a coaching staff standpoint as well as the players, and again, missing family, some are close by, some are far away, but in your situation, you have family in Nebraska in addition to your family here in town. Is time away kind of needed right now?
I think every coach is going to tell you that it is. You kind of hit a point in the semester where they've put in so much work in the classroom, and then they go through the stress that is finals week, and we've been traveling pretty nonstop for the last 2 months, and there's just a lot that goes into it. And again, that's minus any kind of practice or weights or study hall and all that extra time that goes into it. So usually one of your best practices of the year is when they come back out of break. They're recharged, they're fresh, they come back excited for that second semester, and you can just tell. It's always kind of good that it hits always about the right time, but no, it's definitely a good thing for the kids to kind of go home and recharge.
Brian Ortmeier, head coach at the LCCC Lady Gold Eagles. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk with Ana Terron, who is who is from Tarragona, Spain, and we'll have her up next right here on 1480 KRAE.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
We hold ourselves up to the highest standards, and Kia also holds their cars up to the highest standards. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne. Right now during our holiday sticker sales event, you can save on the new 2020 Kia Sportage. 2020 Kia Sportage has an updated exterior along with new standard technology, driver-assisted features, and available all-wheel drive. Come into Kia of Cheyenne or call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
The holiday season is a time when family traditions come alive. Hi, this is Rick Flood with a special Christmas wish from Platte Valley Bank. Whatever traditions you and your family will celebrate, may songs of joy fill your home with warmth and your heart with happiness this holiday season. On behalf of all of us at Platte Valley Bank, we would like to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 43. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 26 and winds out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 42. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 29.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Corrected, even though we were pretty close. We were calling you Anna. It's Ana Terron from Tarragona, Spain. And again, she's a freshman, checks in at 5'9", and getting on that starting crew with LCCC. Ana, thank you so much for joining us. You are here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's kind of a far hop from Spain, but tell us a little bit about yourself and what are you studying at LCCC?
Well, I am studying mathematics, because I always like maths and I think it's a good career to study, so I'm studying mathematics.
What brought you out here to Cheyenne, Wyoming?
They offered me to come to this college and I like it, and so I decided to come here.
How are you getting adjusted against Spain to Cheyenne, Wyoming, where, again, now we're in the thick of it of, it's not winter necessarily yet. Again, that's coming up very shortly. But, we've had a blizzard. We've had very cold temperatures, wind as well, too, out here in Wyoming. Have you gotten adjusted? And also, to the elevation as well, too, out here. Have you felt like over the past couple months being here in Cheyenne, you're adjusted to what it has to offer here, kind of weather and altitude-wise?
Yeah, it's really different, and I think the main difference is the weather. Where I live in Spain, it never snows, so I'm not used to snow. But I think now I'm getting used to that, and I like snow. So
let's talk about being part of the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles. And again, too, sometimes, and you speak English well. Matter of fact, you probably speak it better than I do. But my point is, you're with new teammates on the floor. And again, we use the word communication. Was it tough at first to communicate with your fellow basketball players?
Yeah, my first days, I didn't understand lots of things when we were playing basketball, but now I'm getting used to that. And sometimes it's hard to me to talk in English because it's like I want to say something in Spanish, but then I need to translate it, and it's hard, but I think I'm getting used to that.
Talk about at least the differences from playing basketball out in Spain to now here, the American kind of style, especially now going from at least the lower level up to collegiate basketball. Talk about the noticeable differences that you're seeing right now, Anna, whether it is speed of the game, size of the game, going up against bigger ladies. What are some of the differences?
I think here the game is faster, and I think it's like we use more the strength, because also here we practice like every day, and in Spain I only practice 3 days a week because we don't have like high school. I played in a club, so we only practice 3 times a week.
Do you have family back home?
Yeah, I will go back on Sunday.
Brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I have a sister.
So let me ask you this question. And again, this is your first time away from home.
Yeah.
a little homesick right now?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm excited to go home because I miss them. I miss my friends too, and I want to see them.
Let's talk about your new friends, the basketball team, because again, like the guys, they get pretty close, even though they don't really show it on the floor yet. But as Kyle Cabs told us, they're pretty close off the court. Are you pretty tight with all the young ladies off the court?
Yeah, we've been pretty close together. Like everyone is helping me, and we're like a family. At first, it was kind of. We were more separated, but now we are together, yeah.
What, again, Cheyenne, Wyoming is not the big city. It's not Denver, Colorado down the road, and we kind of shut our doors sometimes around 9:30 at night. What is the one thing that you have found here in Cheyenne that you can't find in Spain?
Maybe snow, the weather. Yeah, and the fast food restaurants. There are a lot of restaurants here than there are in Spain.
Are you
welcome to America?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you a fan? Are you because last night we had pizza on the way home? Are you? What is your favorite fast food?
I don't know. I like Chick-fil-A.
Hey, that's a good plug. Cindy, who's my good friend over here at the corner of Windmill and Delrange. Yeah, that's a great plug. All right, Nick, I'll go ahead.
And I want to talk about at least this freshman year. Anna, that's what I felt like I said. But anyways, as we look at your freshman season right now with LCCC, what goals do you have for this season? Whether it is, and again, we're talking on the court. Is it trying to hit X amount of points per game? You're trying to hit this many free throws, 3-pointers. What kind of goals did you set for yourself this season?
I would like to improve on my defense, and also I would like to get stronger, and I would like to shoot like quicker and get more confident of my shoot.
With college, and we hope you'll be sitting down here next year talking to us as a sophomore at LCCC. Do you want to finish your college here in the United States, and do you have hopes to play bigger college basketball, Division I, or anything else that might pop up?
Yeah, I would like to finish here at the college, and then if I can go to any university, I would like to go. But if there's no possibility to go, I will go back to Spain and keep playing basketball there.
Now, again, too, with the Olympics around the corner, do you have that opportunity if you would go back to Spain to try out for the national team?
I don't think so.
No, I was just curious. Again, you're a good basketball player, and maybe that possibility may happen here before it's all said and done. Ana, we want to thank you so much for joining us here. Ana Terron, again from Terron, Spain. And we're looking forward to talking basketball and mentioning your name properly on Friday and Saturday, as we'll be out of the rack against, we have Western Nebraska on Friday. And, again, we'll have Trinidad State coming up on Saturday. So, for Brian Ortmeier and Ana, we want to thank Jason Ficca, along with Kyle Cabs. Earlier we had joining us our head coach, Glen Kirkbride from Cheyenne Central. So we had a busy show here today, Nick, so we're going to wrap things up real quick before we